Parents are going to want to pay attention to this. Kids are heading back to school this week all across the country, but the same problems still exist with our education system. We're talking about teachers' unions and money problems. Joining me now is David Banks. He built a series of Boys Eagle Academy schools here in New York City and New Jersey and has done well by them. David, nice to see you this morning. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
What do you guys do with the Eagle Academy?
The Eagle Academy, it's the first all-boys public high school in New York City in more than 30 years and was the first in the country when we opened our doors. And we responded to the crisis of trying to save young men, particularly African-American Latino males who are not even graduating from high school.
One of the things that you also did was worked well with unions. There's been much criticism about the teachers' unions and the stranglehold, perhaps, that they're putting on our schools in this country. How did you manage to work with the unions and make things actually work at the Eagle Academy?
Well, I think we work well sometimes in spite of the unions. At the Eagle Academy, we've established a good working relationship with the unions so that we are able to, really achieve the mission that we have for young men. But
what specifically?
Well, I think the unions very often are problematic, but we just learn how to be able to kind of work around some of the rules. So let me give you an example. This notion of merit pay.
Right.
Merit pay is something that we support and we think is a good thing. The unions don't believe in it. LIFO. When you're a first-year teacher, second-year teacher, good, young, energetic teacher who comes into the system, you're doing a great job. You could be one of the best teachers in the school. When you have budget cuts and teachers have to go, those are some of the first teachers who have to be removed. Those are the kinds of things that really make no sense.
How do you get better teachers in our schools? This seems to be a major problem across the country and facing our young kids, that a lot of these teachers really aren't up to snuff when it comes to teaching the kids. We look at them not showing up to class. We look at them maybe don't even have a strong college degree, and they're teaching our young ones. How do we find better teachers in this country?
This country really has to make finding better teachers a real national priority. We're in a global race to the top, and quite frankly, we're losing. In South Korea, the teachers in South Korea graduate from the top 1/3 of their class. In the United States, our teachers graduate from the bottom 1/3 of our classes. That's got to change.
One of the big criticisms from the left is that we haven't spent enough money on education. We need to pour more money into the education system. The Economist newspaper, I believe about 6-7 months ago, looked at this and found that over the years, they found that spending money in education is not the answer. It hasn't proven successful. So if money's not the answer, then what is?
You need great leadership in the schools, first and foremost. You need to have phenomenal principals who are leading the schools, and then you have to have a better coordination between teachers as well as the leadership in the schools. Oftentimes, unions get in the way of the reform and the efforts that are made to try and change our educational system, and those are the kinds of things that have to change.
Well, you've been doing have some great success there at the Eagle Academy. David Banks, thanks so much for sharing your thoughts with us this morning. We hope some of the people in Washington paying attention to what you've been able to accomplish.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, David.